Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to dive headfirst into the world of robotic process automation, RPA for short.
RPA.
Yeah, RPA. We've got a stack of materials here on the 6 automation scenarios, and we're ready to extract the absolute gold from this stuff. You know, this isn't about robots taking over the world or anything. It's about finding that perfect balance between human ingenuity and, robotic efficiency. And I was already geeking out a little bit when I saw that you can have like attended robots and unattended robots. It's like a whole robot ecosystem.
Yeah, what's really interesting about RPA is that it fills the gaps where traditional process automation kind of falls short. The older systems were often very rigid and difficult to integrate. RPA brings this flexibility to the table, and especially with those legacy systems that just refuse to cooperate with newer technologies.
Okay, so we've got 6 different ways to deploy these robots, and it's a lot more than I expected. Can you give us a quick overview of the 2 main types of software robots before we break down each scenario? I've got to admit the whole attended versus unattended thing still has me a little curious.
Yeah, so think of it this way. An attended robot is like your personal assistant, sitting right there on your computer ready to jump in and help with those tasks that you find tedious or repetitive. They're interactive and work in real time alongside a human user. Then you have your unattended robots. These are the tireless workhorses operating behind the scenes, tackling those high-volume tasks without any human intervention. Perfect for processes that are rule-based and can be easily standardized. And then just to add another layer of complexity, there's also the hybrid model, which combines the best of both worlds.
Hold on, hybrid robots. Now we're getting into some serious robot evolution here. But you know what? All this talk about robot types is great, but I need to see it in action. Can we walk through these 6 automation scenarios with some real-world examples to bring it all home?
Yeah.
I think our listener probably feels the same way.
Absolutely. Let's jump right in. Scenario 1, fully unattended robots. These are your heavy hitters designed for high-volume tasks that don't need a human looking over their shoulder. So picture this. A financial services company needs to generate sales reports every month, but their data is scattered across a bunch of different global systems. An unattended robot swoops in, pulls all that data together, checks for accuracy, and boom, creates that report before you can even finish your coffee. No human intervention needed.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal here, especially if it means less time wrestling with spreadsheets.
Yes.
But you said you had a real-world example of this in action, something about a UK government agency. Don't leave me hanging.
Yeah, so they had a massive backlog of over 30,000 pension claims. Truly daunting task for any human team. But with unattended robots on the job, they cleared that entire backlog in just 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Wow.
Think about that. Robots processing claims in seconds, something that would take a human minutes or even hours.
Okay, that's impressive. It's not just about speed, though, right? There's got to be more to it than just processing things quickly. Did the robots improve accuracy, reduce errors, maybe even catch things humans might have missed? What made this approach so effective?
You're absolutely right. The speed is definitely a factor, but it's the accuracy and consistency that really make unattended robots shine in this scenario. These robots don't get tired, they don't make typos, and they follow the rules flawlessly every single time. This means fewer errors, reduced processing costs, and ultimately a much smoother and more reliable process for everyone involved.
All right, I'm convinced. Unattended robots, you've officially impressed me. But what about those partially unattended robots? What makes them different?
So these robots are all about teamwork. Imagine them as picking up the baton after a human has completed the first leg of the race. Let's take the mortgage appraisal process as an example. A human might select the appraisal company and set the parameters, but then the robot takes over, gathering all the necessary information, ordering the appraisal, and even handling some of the initial review steps.
So it's about strategically dividing the labor, letting humans focus on the parts that require judgment and expertise, while the robots handle the more repetitive data-driven tasks. Sounds like a recipe for increased efficiency.
Exactly. And we have a great example of this from a telecom company that was dealing with a mountain of customer change requests. They had these giant spreadsheets that needed to be manually entered into their system, a task that was both tedious and error-prone. They decided to use a partially unattended robot to compare the spreadsheet data with their system and flag any changes for a human to approve.
So basically, the robot takes over the soul-crushing data entry, leaving the humans free to focus on the more complex aspects of customer service. I bet their employees were thrilled. But you said this led to a 10-fold increase in performance. That's a pretty dramatic improvement. What was it about this particular scenario that made it so successful?
It's the perfect example of playing to each other's strengths. The robot excels at data comparison and flagging discrepancies, tasks that would bore a human to tears. This frees up human employees to focus on what they do best, analyzing the flag changes, applying their knowledge and judgment, and providing personalized customer service. It's a win-win.
Okay, I'm loving this. Humans and robots working in perfect harmony. But we're only on scenario 2. There are 4 more to go, and I'm already hooked. This human-in-the-loop scenario is next, right? That sounds intriguing. What's the story with these robots?
Human in the loop is all about recognizing that some tasks still require a human touch. That spark of creativity and judgment that robots just haven't quite mastered yet. Think of it like this. You've got a robot using optical character recognition, OCR, to scan invoices, but it comes across a handwritten note or a stamp that's smudged. Instead of just throwing its robotic hands up in the air, it flags that invoice for a human to review.
So it's like having a super efficient assistant who knows when to ask for help. That's a relief. I was worried these robots might get a little too independent for their own good. But don't those human interventions actually make the robots smarter in the long run? I mean, don't they learn from our corrections?
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting. We're talking about AI-powered robots that can actually learn from human feedback, becoming more accurate and efficient over time. It's like they're constantly evolving, getting better with every interaction. One insurance company was drowning in emails, over 1.5 million a year. They decided to use a human-in-the-loop approach, letting robots handle the bulk of the processing, but flagging those tricky emails for human review.
Okay, 1.5 million emails. I'm getting stressed just thinking about it. But they actually saw results from this approach. What kind of impact did it have on their workload?
They saved a whopping 2,000 hours per month. That's like giving their employees a whole extra month of free time every year. And the robots, thanks to machine learning algorithms, were able to adapt and improve handling more and more emails without needing human intervention.
All right, that's seriously impressive. I'm starting to see how these different scenarios can be tailored to specific needs. It's not just about replacing humans. It's about finding that perfect synergy between human capabilities and robot efficiency. So what's next? We've got attended interval, right? That sounds almost civilized.
You could say that. Attended interval is all about robots working alongside humans, taking over those repetitive tasks at specific intervals. Like a well-trained butler stepping in to handle the boring stuff. Imagine you're working on a financial report, pulling data from different sources, cleaning it up, and then doing your analysis. An attended interval robot could handle all that data crunching in the background, freeing you up to focus on the higher-level analysis.
So it's like having a robot intern who takes care of the grunt work while you focus on the big picture.
Yeah.
That's a tempting thought. But does this actually translate into real-world results? I mean, beyond just making spreadsheets less terrifying, of course.
Absolutely. One bank was struggling with long customer service hold times because their agents had to manually navigate through multiple systems to access information. They decided to use an attended interval robot to handle that data retrieval, and it actually cut hold times by an average of 30 seconds per call.
30 seconds might not sound like much, but if you're a customer waiting on hold, every second feels like an eternity. And I bet those agents were grateful for the extra breathing room, too.
Exactly. It's about those small but significant improvements that add up to a smoother, more efficient experience for everyone.
Right. I'm officially on board with this robot revolution. What's next on our automation adventure? Attended in tandem. It sounds like we're getting into some serious robot choreography here.
Think of it as a seamless partnership with robots working behind the scenes to help humans excel. Let's say you're a contact center agent talking to a customer. You need to access information from different systems, but you don't want to put the customer on hold. An attended in-tandem robot can work in the background, fetching all that data and presenting it to you seamlessly.
So the customer gets a smoother, more personalized experience.
Yeah.
The agent feels empowered, and the robot gets to be the silent hero. It's a win-win-win. Do we have an example of this in action? Didn't you mention something about a healthcare agency using this approach?
Yes. This agency was facing an overwhelming volume of calls and needed to find a way to improve agent efficiency. They implemented attended in-tandem robots to handle data retrieval and other repetitive tasks, and it actually led to an 80% increase in staff utilization.
80%. That's a game changer. I'm starting to think these robots might be the secret to unlocking human potential. But hold on, we still have one scenario to go right. The mysterious hybrid model. What makes this one so special?
So hybrid deployments bring together the best of both worlds, combining attended and unattended robots to create a truly integrated automation solution. It's perfect for those processes that involve both high-volume repetitive tasks and those moments where human judgment is critical.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me a real-world scenario where this hybrid model shines. How does this tag team of robots work in practice?
Imagine a sales team that's spending way too much time on data entry and administrative tasks, taking away from their actual selling time. A hybrid approach could use an attended robot to monitor the salesperson's actions, capturing data automatically. Then that data gets handed off to an unattended robot for processing, maybe generating reports or updating other systems.
So it's like a well-choreographed dance between human and robot, each playing their part to achieve the ultimate goal, more sales. But does this actually work in the real world? Do you have an example of a company using this hybrid model successfully?
We do. A healthcare provider wanted to create a truly seamless customer experience by automating both front-end and back-end processes. They used attended robots to help agents quickly access information and provide personalized support, while unattended robots handled back-office tasks and helped orchestrate the entire workflow.
Okay, I can see how that would create a smoother experience for everyone involved. But what about the results? Did they see any tangible benefits from this hybrid approach?
They saw a significant increase in customer loyalty, reduced handling times, and a major boost to their first call resolution rates. It's proof that a well-designed hybrid approach can be a game changer for businesses looking to streamline their operations and enhance the customer experience.
So what I'm hearing is that RPA isn't just about efficiency. It's about freeing up human potential, allowing us to focus on those tasks that require creativity, critical thinking, and those uniquely human qualities that robots just can't replicate.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where human ingenuity and robotic efficiency intersect, creating a more productive, fulfilling, and truly collaborative work environment.
This has been mind-blowing. 6 different scenarios, each with its own unique strengths and applications. I'm starting to see how RPA can be a powerful tool for transforming businesses and even reshaping the future of work. But before we get too carried away, I want to step back and look at the bigger picture. We know that a staggering 70% of digital transformation initiatives fail. With RPA being such a powerful tool for digital transformation, what's one key thing companies need to keep in mind to avoid becoming part of that statistic?
That's a critical question. A lot of companies, one of the biggest pitfalls they fall into is viewing RPA as just another IT project. They think, oh, we'll just buy some robots and watch the magic happen. But it's so much more than that. RPA is a fundamental shift in how we work, and it needs that company-wide embrace, not just a tech department rollout.
So it's not just about the technology itself. It's about creating a culture that embraces automation and understands its potential. That sounds like it involves more than just, installing some software. Where do you even begin to create that kind of culture shift?
Communication is key. You need to clearly articulate the benefits of RPA to everyone from the C-suite to the frontline workers. And it can't just be about, cost savings and efficiency. You have to highlight how RPA can empower employees, free them from those mind-numbing tasks so they can focus on more strategic and fulfilling work.
Yeah, that makes sense. People are naturally going to be, resistant to change, especially if they see robots as a threat to their jobs. You need to address those fears head on and paint a picture of a future where humans and robots are working together, each playing to their strengths. But how do you actually get buy-in from different teams who might be used to doing things a certain way? I imagine some departments might be more resistant to change than others.
Right. It's not always easy, but it's about highlighting the wins. Showcasing successful RPA implementations within the company or in similar industries. Let employees see firsthand how robots can not only improve efficiency, but also create opportunities for professional growth and development. When people understand how RPA can make their work lives better, they're much more likely to embrace it.
It's about framing it as an opportunity, not a threat. Show people how RPA can open up, new possibilities, not just replace existing jobs. But even with the right culture and communication, you still need to choose the right processes to automate right. It's not just about throwing robots at every problem and hoping for the best.
Exactly. One of the biggest mistakes companies make is trying to automate everything. You need to be strategic, focusing on those processes that are high volume, repetitive, rule-based, and prone to human error. Those are the areas where RPA can really shine.
So it's about finding those sweet spots where robots can excel, allowing humans to focus on tasks that require, creative, critical thinking, and that uniquely human touch.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, even with the perfect process in mind, implementing RPA isn't exactly a walk in the park, is it? What are some of the challenges companies might face, and how can they overcome them?
I think one of the biggest challenges is integrating RPA with existing systems. Companies often have, a patchwork of legacy systems that don't always play well together, and that can create roadblocks for RPA implementation. You need to have a solid understanding of your IT infrastructure and choose an RPA platform that can seamlessly integrate with your existing systems.
So it's not just about buying a bunch of robots. It's about choosing the right tools and platforms for the job. It sounds like it requires a lot of careful planning and expertise. What about the ongoing maintenance and management of these robots? Once they're up and running, do they pretty much take care of themselves?
Not quite. RPA isn't a set it and forget it solution. You need to have a team in place that can monitor the robots, troubleshoot any issues that arise, and make sure they're performing as expected. And as your business processes evolve, you'll need to update and adapt your robots accordingly.
So it's an ongoing process, a continuous cycle of improvement and adaptation. It's not just about implementing RPA, it's about creating a sustainable automation strategy that can grow and evolve with your business needs. But with all this talk about robots and efficiency, I think it's easy to lose sight of the human element. What are some of the ethical considerations we need to be mindful of as we embrace automation?
Yeah, that's a crucial point. RPA has the potential to, greatly benefit society, but we need to be thoughtful about its implementation. One of the biggest concerns, of course, is job displacement. As robots become more sophisticated, they will inevitably take over tasks that are currently performed by humans. We need to be proactive in addressing this issue by investing in retraining programs and creating new job opportunities that leverage human skills and creativity.
It's about ensuring that the benefits of automation are shared by everyone, not just a select few. We need to create a future where humans and robots coexist, each contributing their unique strengths to create a more prosperous and equitable society.
Absolutely. We need to think about the long-term implications of automation and ensure that it's used to enhance human potential, not diminish it.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive. We've gone from the technical details of RPA to the profound ethical and societal implications.
Mhm.
And I think the biggest takeaway for me is that RPA is more than just a technology. It's a catalyst for change, a force that has the potential to reshape the future of work and redefine what it means to be human in a technologically advanced world.
I completely agree, and I hope our listener will walk away from this deep dive not just with a better understanding of RPA, but also with a sense of excitement and possibility for the future.
Well, thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.